it's not abolition. It's not about abolition. It's about the slavish relationship between the British monarchy and the British press. I almost want to say that the British monarchy is a slave to the British press, but this article makes me rethink that. And I wonder whether the slave is like a mutual thing or whether these two institutions are sort of, just two different heads on the same body. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I don't know. But this is opendemocracy.net. And it's a very interesting article. It was written last year. It's about Harry and, Meghan and the royal family and the monarchy and abolition and things like that. And by the way, if you can hear something in the background, I'm sorry. I am doing my laundry as we speak. And yeah, so it's like here it says here on the this is Harry. On the other hand, he revealed that the royals are equally obsessed with the tabloid press. Within my family, this is a quote, you have the newspapers laid out pretty much in every single palace, he said, later adding that parts of the reason he left the country was to remove ourselves from this competition that was happening for the front pages. He continues, my family have been briefing the press solidly for well over a decade, he said, claiming that certain members have decided to, quote, get in bed with the devil to rehabilitate their image, end quote. I think we can all imagine who he might be referring to there. But, based on certain revelations, like Anna, was it Pasternak, who wrote that article in Tatler about Kate Middleton, Kate the Great, and just everything else that we have seen in the last several years, and even crescendoing to more recent weeks and months, you do have to wonder whether, you know, the whole thing, the royal family's relationship with the press and the press's relationship with the royal family, it strikes me as very slavish. It really does. I mean, it's almost like they court the press, like the royal family. They court the press in a way to sort of get approval from the press. They will do anything, like literally get into bed with the devil to get onto the front pages, to get good press. They will, they will sell each other out. I don't know if they would pay money. I don't see why they would be above paying money to some of these journalists under the table. I'm not saying that they have, but I'm saying I don't see any reason to rule that out at this point. Um, if they call them up, they take them to lunch, they beg, they moan, they demand, they threaten to sue, they do all kinds of things. I mean, it's very, very slavish. I mean, and it's like they hand up each other, as Harry said in Spare, and as it seems to be the case. I mean, they, it's just, it's horrible. And this here, um, it's the very core of Britain. It says here, the relationship of the institution to the tabloid media, he said, is of public interest. That's what Harry said. And then Open Democracy says it's more than that. It's the very core of Britain. It's like at the very core, this relationship that the monarchy has with the press is really, maybe it's slave is not even the word, but to me, it's like they're slaves to the media, honestly. And yeah, I don't even know what to say beyond that. It's just saying that what does it say here? Monarchs who failed to heed this new nationalist era soon found themselves headless. Uh-huh. Britons learned slowly to adapt. Britain's ruling class, including its own media owning elite, Rupert Murdoch, saw the advantages of maintaining this pomp and ceremony, which kept the plebes reverential and society hierarchical and propped it up. Yeah, there's this very sort of like hierarchical versus commoner mentality in the average Bret, you know. And it's like a badge of honor. They really they see they can't self-reflect and see or hear themselves. It's like a rite of passage. It's like a birthright to really believe in this pomp and circumstance as being something amazing, and curtsying as being amazing, and thinking of this class structure they created in their own little minds is amazing and real, and that there's some people up and some are all the way at the bottom, if they're even on the totem pole at all. And it's really deep. I mean, I wonder whether it can be fixed. It says here, as Walter Bagehot, editor of The Economist, wrote in the 1860s, the point of the British monarchy is to impress the many, while Westminster and Whitehall get on with governing the many. It is the dignified part of the Constitution which exists to excite and preserve the reverence of the population. And okay, I mean, clearly, as I said before many times, the monarchy needs to be captivating. It needs to be exciting. People need to care. The masses need to really like you and care about you for it to survive. And the way that this current crop of royals seem to be going about it is, again, engaging in a very, very weird relationship with the press. I mean, I say it's slavish, but maybe there's a better word. I mean, I can't really think of it. If you can think of it, tell me. But it's like a very slavish, they're like slaves to the monarchy, right? And in their quest to impress, they will do anything. But I mean, I would say though, um, conversely, right at this very minute, I mean, if they think they're impressing the many with these prolonged absences, these weird behaviors, these strange, press reports or lack thereof, it's not very impressive, is it? And this is where I think they're starting to head into trouble, because William working from home, I mean, how can you impress the many when you're like working from home? Kate being absent without, AWOL, without any real justification. And don't tell me she's getting chemo so that she can't be seen waving to the people from time to time. Sarah Ferguson's out waving and going to church. So is King Charles. This isn't very impressive. I mean, okay, people are going to give her a pass, but it's not going to last for much longer, right? I mean, King Charles and Camilla are doing their best, but, I just don't know. I just don't know. I guess this video is just saying that it just seems to me that it's very, very, they're in a very precarious moment in the monarchy, and I don't think anybody would disagree with that. And how does this article end up? What does it say here? We can't understand the central question of British politics. Why does England vote Tory perhaps more consistently than any other nation on earth votes for a party? I have no idea. Without starting to think about the conjoined mass of monarchy, class, empire, and the British press. We won't really change Britain until we get serious about abolition. Yeah, I mean, there is definitely a conjoined twin thing going on with the monarchy and the press, and all of them are obsessed with the class and these very misguided notions about class and entitlement, and the Commonwealth this and the Commonwealth that. I mean, it's very it's bizarre, and as I said, I think it's very I think it's very slavish the way that the current crop of royals, not Harry and Meghan, obviously, they freed them, they emancipated, they emancipated themselves. The rest of them, are, you know, something is wrong. Charles, Camilla, William, Kate, and the others. They really need to think about that relationship with the press.